from a galaxy far, far away.
And a bookshelf straight out of the 90s.
From Thrawn to Dantooine.
And everything in between. This is Legends Look Back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Legends Look Back, proudly part of the Utini Podcast Network. This is a Star Wars books podcast for people who always greet you with a secret handshake, where we celebrate the Star Wars EU and expand your universe one episode at a time. I'm your host, Jared Mays, and tonight I'm joined by some legendary co-hosts, though not all of them. First of all, Emily Daybeck.
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing?
Doing great. And by that I mean, honestly, horrible. I feel awful. Just tremendously terrible. How much of that is because of the book that we read? You'll find out in just a minute. But first, you know who doesn't feel awful or look awful? He's just awful to begin with. Rick Race.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty awful.
Rick is
One time I
great.
ate offals in Africa. That was a thing.
What?
You know what?
They
now?
brought out the food. I ate offals, like intestines and stuff.
Didn't have to go
Is that in
there.
her head?
All right.
That's just my... Anyway, yeah, I thought they said the food is awful, like this is awful when they served it. And I was like, yeah, probably. Checks out. And then learned that they were saying awfuls.
Huh.
Awfuls.
I
Yeah.
still don't know what that is. I'm going to have to look it up after the show.
Yep, you keep saying that word, and I don't know what it means.
Intestines, like
Ew.
I know what those are, but
hearts
Oh,
and
like
lungs and livers and-
OFFALS. Awfuls. Like,
Correct. Right.
ew.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
We don't have to
good
keep
talk,
talking about
guys.
that.
Good talk.
And so, as you listen to this episode of Legends Look Back, you can eat a nice, big, cold bowl of waffles, or literally anything else.
Anything.
And just make sure that it's something that's going to really enrich the book, because it needs some enriching, in my opinion. That is, we are talking about the next installment in the never-ending story. Wait, no, that's not it. The New Jedi Order. The next installment in the New Jedi Order Dark Journey. What is this, like book 11? It's been a bunch.
I don't even know.
However,
We're a few in.
Slogging through them.
yeah, this book is Dark Journey by Elaine Cunningham. Released in 2002, this book focuses on the aftermath of Star by Star from the point of view of Jaina Solo. Now, something cool does happen in these next few books after Star by Star. Star by Star is kind of the turning point, the pivot point, the precipice of the New Jedi Order, and then you kind of break out into several stories in a row that kind of divide up the galaxy, like from one character's perspective at a time. So this one's Jaina's story. Did it feel weird to you all that we literally got nothing about Jason in this book?
Yeah. I mean, there definitely was a voice that was missing, and I mean, I do like how each of the books do somewhat have like a focus or a perspective, and so that was nice, but this book was just weird for me. I kept on waiting for something else, and I didn't know what that was, and it could have just been I was waiting for that other perspective or to hear Jason,
Yeah.
So I was missing something.
Yeah, definitely interesting perspective, to take you just, Jaina's story. And then we're going to cut back to Jason's in a future book, which is Traitor. I've been watching that TV show called Traitors, the reality TV show.
Nope.
And the host has this real thick Irish accent. So I keep hearing that when I talk about the New Jedi Order book. Traitor. Yeah, apologies to all of our Irish listeners for that one.
Yeah.
But I will say, getting back to Dark Journey, is this, I'm colorblind, so help me out here, is this the only Star Wars book with a bright pink cover?
It's a good question. I feel like it can't be the only one.
Surely not the only.
It's a bold cover.
And it doesn't look
Yeah,
as
it is.
bright in the digital version, but when you hold up the paper copy, it does look a bit saturated, if you will.
Yeah.
I feel like it matches
There's-
the theme, though.
There's been some strong maroon covers, but
The book is called Dark Journey, but the book is pink.
Well, I feel like
what?
that's Star Wars warning that there's a female perspective in this book.
No, for
Be
sure.
warned.
Yeah,
it's
Like you knew
it's a
what you were
muted
picking
pink.
up.
Right. I love that this one's about the girl. You know how? It's
In case you weren't sure.
It's very pink. Very pink.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say? How about we get into the story of Dark Journey, guys?
Indeed.
Let's do it. Spoiler warning here. If you have not yet read Elaine Cunningham's Dark Journey, turn back now and then just stay turned around. Don't ever come back. No. You might like it. It's a romp. It's a romp. So here we are. This is your spoiler warning for Dark Journey. In Dark Journey, Jaina Solo is grappling with the aftermath of the Jedi Strike Team's mission to Mirkor. Her brother Anakin is dead, and her twin Jason is missing, presumed captured by the Yuuzhan Vong, flying the stolen Vong frigate Star. The remaining Jedi narrowly escape and head to the Hapes cluster, where things are just as messy. Hapes is still recovering from a devastating defeat at Fondor, and its royal family is dealing with everything from assassination attempts to grief-stricken Queen Tenennial Jo, who has lost the will to rule and possibly to live, who sees Jaina as a perfect candidate to marry Prince Isolder and lead Hapes into war. Nothing says dynastic strategy like marrying a traumatized Jedi.
Yep. Jaina, meanwhile, has a few tricks up her sleeve. Literally, she renames the Star to Trickster as a nod to the Yuuzhan Vong trickster goddess Yonharla. And she starts playing mind games with the Yuuzhan Vong. Between confusing their fleets with modified Dovin basils and pretending to be some sort of goddess incarnate, Jaina's newfound rebellious streak sends mixed signals to both friends and foe. Kip Durin, ever the wild card, becomes her mentor despite their earlier clashes, and Jagged Fell, the stoic Chiss asterisk pilot, shows up to complicate things further, because who doesn't need a little romantic tension during a galactic war?
Amid all this chaos, Anakin's body is returned to his parents, and Jaina struggles with dark thoughts. She distances herself from her family, especially Leia, who is convinced that Jason is still alive. Jaina's growing anger drives her to take more aggressive action against the Vong, leading to a showdown where her trickster ploys trick Yuuzhan Vong ships into fighting each other. In true soap...
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I had AI help me with this, so who knows? We're having a dark journey with this summary, okay?
Okay, no worries. In true soap opera fashion, Ta Chum's machinations go even further. She poisons Queen Tenennial, clearing the way for her granddaughter Tenel Ka to become the next Queen Mother. Jaina, though, flat out rejects any idea of ruling Hapes. She's not interested in crowns, just in vengeance, and maybe a little bit of flying circles around the enemy. Through all the heartache, dark side flirtations, and battle strategies, Jaina comes into her own, determined, fiercely independent, and proving that if you cross a Solo, you're going to regret it.
Well said. Well done. Love it. Absolutely. Yeah, I threw a couple summaries into AI, and I was like, hey, help me out with this, and we're just going to see how it goes. And
That was pretty good.
It could have been worse.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
That was decent.
In fact, I've written worse myself, single-handedly.
Don't tell our writers that AI helped.
Oh, they use AI. Come on. It's like an assist.
Yeah,
It's like-
I love it. It's great.
It's like you're up to bat, and instead of receiving a pitch, AI just puts it on the tee for you. I mean, you're still hitting the ball, right?
I always say it's like talking to your smarter best friend and having them help.
Wait, Rick, you have other friends than us?
No,
He was talking about me.
but if I did, they would be smarter than you guys.
Oh!
I'm sorry, that was mean. I can't even give a burn without feeling bad about it.
You know what we are also going to feel bad about is the review score we're going to give this book. At least for me personally, let's rate it. This one for me is like, it's fair. Like, it's not even good.
Why?
This is the worst New Jedi Order book so far.
Really?
In my opinion. I know I don't hate reading it. I just don't think it's a good book. It's the plot of the Hapen Queen wants Jaina to marry the man that almost married her father. Not great. Don't love that. super
That's
problematic.
It
interesting.
screams arranged marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't be the first time.
Ugh, man.
Maybe not in Star Wars.
Yeah.
But
What's your rating, Emily? You were shocked by my my fair to good at best.
I mean,
It's like a
I
2.5
elements
star
of
rating
this.
for me.
I liked the matriarchal society. I liked the political machinations. I like the implications of something romantic. That's nice because we don't usually get that. So it's nice, every 10th book will
This-
throw a bone to romance readers.
This one really sets off a tremendously long love triangle that will persist with Jaina. And there were, back in the day, like as these were coming out, the Jaina Solo ship wars were a huge thing. And people, I mean, it was Team Edward versus Team Jacob kind of thing.
Nice.
With who you were for, with.
Interesting.
Or perhaps we're more of like Gilmore Girls people. So
Okay.
say, Team Logan or Team Jess or Team Dean, with Jaina here. So
Okay.
Nice.
yeah.
All right. Well, I thought that was kind of cool. I like the idea of a matriarchal society. That's not something that we see a lot ever, much less in Star Wars. So that was kind of refreshing. I liked that it went from one perspective. I do feel like it could have been like not necessarily part of the series, but it could have been like a novella, or some kind of a spin-off book. Because I don't know how necessary it is to the plot, or I feel like one or two tie-ins of what Jason actually is doing instead of just an entirely from her perspective book. I think that would have strengthened it as a whole. So I'll say, I think it was good. I liked the ideas of a lot of it. It was nice to see a woman written by a woman for the first time in a while.
That's a good point.
So I didn't mind it at all. I thought it was a refreshing twist.
Yeah. Rick, how about you?
Um,
And I will say, Emily is our notorious lover of the courtship of Princess Leia. And this is like the courtship of Princess Leia gone wild. I mean, the courtship of Princess Leia strikes back.
Yeah, there you go. So there are things about it I liked. For me, my biggest critique is it never got dark.
That's true.
It's
Yeah.
dark journey, and it's like, what was the darkness? Did I miss it? I guess she had some
That's a good
internal
point.
conflict, but I was
She gets a
expecting
little
full on,
angry.
like
Like
walking
this
away
much
from the Jedi
angry.
Order, or leaving the Jedi behind and going rogue and just killing all the Yuuzhan Vong. I thought this was going to be a major turning point in the series.
Yeah,
That
you would
was
think it would have
disappointing to
been
me.
a Kip Duran path, or that he just went
Yeah.
way off the deep end. But no,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
So that was my biggest criticism, was it was just a letdown in that regard. But yeah, some of the Hapen craziness was interesting. It felt like it was a Clone Wars episode. Obviously totally the wrong era, but just that kind of plot line, something that you
Yeah,
can see
okay.
in a kid's show almost, oh no, I got to marry this old guy. Not going to happen. I'm gonna
The
run off
love
with my new
triangle
boyfriend.
in a kids show?
Huh?
You want to see the love triangle in a kids show, Rick?
You got to tell me that Clone Wars
There's
does not
more
have
on
love
this.
triangles.
It's been a while since I watched Clone Wars, I'll be honest.
Oh man, there's that whole episode where there's Anakin and Padme, and then Padme has this other guy she has to be a politician with.
Yeah.
And Anakin's
Is that
so
the one where
jealous, and it's
Anakin
awkward.
beats him into a pulp?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, and Jar Jar has a girlfriend.
I don't remember this one.
Yeah, you don't want to remember it. You want to go home and rethink your life.
I will go home and rethink my life.
No, great point. I like that comparison to a Clone Wars episode.
Yeah.
Well, this book really largely centers around, and let us know, listeners, your thoughts on this as well. We are still live, doing a live show here. Haven't done one in a couple episodes. The live shows, they're winding down. We're going to do an announcement about that at the end of the episode. We're re-strategizing some of our releases, but this one's live, so let us know live in the chat your thoughts about Dark Journey. This one does largely center around Jaina Solo. This is a Jaina Solo-centric book, and though I don't think it's a strong entry in the series, not necessarily high up on the tier among my favorite Legends reads, Jaina is absolutely one of my favorite Legends characters, without a doubt. And I do like getting to spend more time with her in this book. She's a great foil for the Hapens, especially all their nonsense, and she's like, "Stop the nonsense. Let's kill some Yuuzhan Vong." You know, that's great. I love it. She's kind of a mess in this book, though. Kind of a mess. What do you think it will take, as we get into the characters here, what do you think it will take for Jaina to bounce back from the traumatic events of Star by Star? I mean, this book is the first one after Star by Star. We've got Anakin Solo's funeral. There's a lot to process here for Jaina. Poor Jaina. Bless her heart, Jaina. Oh, man. But what do you think it's going to take for Jaina to bounce back from what she's just been through?
I think she needs to know that Jason's alive. I think that'll be her turning point.
Okay, yeah. Know that Jason's alive. How do you know that Jason's alive? Do you know that Jason's alive?
They kept talking about it too much, and we didn't see his death, which means he's alive. He's just doing something weird in the background.
He could come back with spider legs.
True. Yes.
Come back with spider legs.
Yes. So I think that if her twin is okay, she'll be okay. I think it's too much too fast with all the death. And the people that she has left are also struggling with grief. So she's kind of afloat. But I think that as soon as she knows that that there's hope, I think she'll come bouncing right back.
Speaking of too much too fast, how come as soon as her brother's dead, everybody's like, "Hey, you want to marry me? You want to marry me? Hey, you want to marry me? Hey, you want to marry me? Hey, you want to marry my son?"
And it's the little.
Yeah.
I guess both brothers are assumed. So yeah, that's right. Good point.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Oh. Wow, the message I just got from Freddie. That one's not going to show up in the show. Let me tell you that much. Yikes. Take care, buddy. Hope to see you back for the next episode. Whoo! It's a doozy for Freddie. Everybody, thoughts and prayers with Freddie.
Okay.
You know who else gets our thoughts and prayers is Jaina Solo. Jaina, going through a lot here. Rick, what are your thoughts on what is it going to take for Jaina to bounce back? I would not consider her fully balanced by the end of Dark Journey.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I've read ahead, so I've kind of seen some of where we're going, and in some ways, I'm kind of surprised that she bounces back so quickly. Again, I was expecting her to go way down the depths of grief and the dark side and all that, which we get a little bit. You know, she definitely explores grief quite a bit, and I was really saddened by a lot of the conflict she had with Leia. Like that was hard as a parent. Like just seeing, man, if my kids had to go through something like that, and the anger toward her parents, and like some of the just distance she has, that was frustrating. So what is it going to take for her to bounce back? I don't know. I mean, I guess she's going to pursue violence and pursue action, and then she has to find her own peace. And you know, I think she realizes that violence isn't going to bring it for her.
I do like this comment from Skooma Joe, not the one about Freddy being in the embrace of pain, though definitely he's in the embrace of pain right now. Let me tell you that much. But the other comment from Skooma Joe, I like this, that Jaina has an interesting dark side arc, quotation marks, okay, on dark side arc, where she doesn't go full crazy like Vader did and reject the Jedi, but, and I love this, she becomes very nihilistic, reckless, and bloodthirsty. And so that definitely would describe what she's going through. And so she's no nonsense. I'm tired of this. Let's cut to the chase. But also there's a lot of trickery. So we'll get into that.
There is.
Get into that. Speaking of trickery, we're dealing with Kip Duran in this book. Kip Duran shows up whether you like him or not. He's a divisive character both in universe and out. Which leads me to the age-old question, do you think Kip is a better match for Jaina as a Jedi Master or as a boyfriend? Because at the end of the book, she's going with Kip to train under him. He's going to be apprenticed under him, wants him to train her in the ways of the Jedi, complete her training sort of thing. But also there's a romantic element. Where are you at on your feels for Kip Duran?
It took me a while to realize that he was even a Jedi Master. Like, it was like that was a Jedi, like, apprentice situation. Because for a while I was like, okay, Kip is here. Like, that's kind of annoying. And then I was like, oh, Kip is here. Is it so annoying? And then it was like, oh, no, this is kind of awkward because now he's like a master situation. Then I felt like I kind of read into it too much. So I was a little bit confused. I liked him as a boyfriend. I thought that would make sense. I thought especially
He's got, like,
this is like her dark journey. Having Kip as like a love interest makes sense to me.
It does.
The rebellious stage.
Yeah, he's the
The
little
rebellious
bad
stage
guy.
is- It's giving freshman in high school dates a senior
Yeah.
Yes.
or like a college guy.
I'm gonna break out my Yoda and too old. Too old he is.
How old is he?
I don't know. He's older. Not that much older. Not crazy.
He's
old.
He's definitely balding, right?
What?
Yeah, I would say he's probably
No.
mid-30s. I don't know.
How old is
somewhere
she?
in there.
Actually, I think the concept art of
Late
Kip, he
teen.
always has long, luscious locks.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's problematic. Problematic.
Yeah.
See, in my head,
it super
Kip was
is.
like still like fresh out of like just blowing up the Sun Star or whatever it was, the Sun Crusher. Like he's
Oh,
like,
yeah, the genocide.
yeah,
He blew up Kurita. Yeah, committed genocide.
Yeah.
Killed billions with the Sun Crusher.
Get the slap
but
on
that-
the wrist.
Emily, that was what, 20 years before this?
was it really?
15?
Okay, that's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Now I rescind my like boyfriend thing, but like coming into it, forgetting that, thinking that they are like within a 10-year age gap. To me, it spelled out love interest for sure.
What's the
He's
Parks
friends
and Rec
with-
rule? Like half your age plus 7?
Plus 7? Okay, he's right on the border of that because he's friends with Han Solo. But yeah, imagine that like friend
He's
with
like
your
a
dad.
Richard.
Hey, I'm friends with your dad.
He's as
yes.
Richard is to
Richard.
Monica, so Kip is to
Not nearly
Jaina.
as cool.
no. He did
No.
commit genocide, and she is pretty bloodthirsty.
Well,
Wrong time.
genocide will do it for the right. There's a type. Anyway, Isgul has a great comment here that Jaina was 2 when Kip was flying around blowing up suns. with
That's
the,
right.
The Sun
Yes,
Crusher.
they were the toddlers.
I'm just saying, the Force is a mysterious thing.
No.
Well, it does run in the family. You've got Anakin and Padme.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was like the other way. That icked me out more than
Luke
this
and
does.
Leia.
Luke and moving on.
Oh,
But that does lead us into the infamous Jaina ship wars, okay? And this we're not I don't necessarily would consider ourselves fully in the ship wars with this book, but I would probably call it the book that went the farthest to push us into the ship wars. So far, as of Dark Journey, and this might shift depending on who the writer is, the book, certain authors have their favorite character that they'll write as the love interest. Lest I remind you of when Mara Jade dated Lando. Okay, that author was doubling down on that one.
Well, what have we here?
Yeah, and then Zahn comes back in and he's like, nope, she's with Luke. So, but as of now, Dark Journey, where are you at with the ship wars? Are you more Team Jag, Team Zek, or Team Kip in the Jaina love interest, love triangle Sun Crusher?
I'm Team Jag.
Team Jag, why?
Yep. I like Jag's professionalism and his I don't know if it's not like a class thing, but just a he's honorable. I feel more honor
He's very honorable.
in him, and the rest are punks.
I think we've got a picture of this, an image of Jaina and Jag. It's like a little spicy.
Oh,
Yeah, a little spicy.
that is
weird that
pretty
he's like
spicy.
a-
Wow. Oh,
offspring of a clone or whatever, but you know that's fine.
Oh, Emily's leaning in.
oh, it's really
Emily,
small.
who are you?
It's like-
Who are you with the ship wars? We got Rick on Team Jag.
I mean, in fairness, it took me a really long time to figure out what you meant by ship wars. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, there was some ship fighting. There wasn't like a lot. And then I realized like, no, that's like relationship. I mean,
I totally got that the first time. Thanks for explaining that.
There's a little bit of Rogue Squadron involved. Gavin Darklighter shows up for a bit.
based on what I have read so far, which is admittedly not much, I'm Team Kip at the moment. I feel like that is a complex relationship that's not immediately understood, but I feel like there's something there that I don't mind. I mean, it might be that he's crazy old, but whatever. I feel like it works.
It's Star Wars. We can get by with it. Just to spice it up, I'm going to lean into Team Zek. Zek, because they've got this well-established romance from the Young Jedi Knights books, No, she's like firmly with Zek in another book that I'm not going to say. When you get there, you'll know it. You'll know it. It's raunchy and weird.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think,
that's what I'm missing. So they had a relationship in Young Jedi Knights.
and they do again in the future, right?
Okay, I see.
Zek. So they've got the Jedi thing in common. They also have like first love, high school boyfriend, kind of like high school sweethearts thing going on.
All right, who is Zek again? Is this Dark Jedi guy?
Yeah, he was a Jedi student with them on Yavin 4, fell to the dark side, went to the Shadow Academy, had a long dark ponytail, also was a bounty hunter for a while. He's pretty cool.
Oh.
Until the bugs. The bugs ruin him.
The bugs.
The bugs.
ruined
It's the
him? I
bugs.
almost read that book.
Where-
It stopped me.
Where has he been? When did he enter the NGO?
Oh.
He pops in and out. Was
Okay,
he on the strike team?
He wasn't the Dark Jedi that they released from captivity or whatever.
No. He's good by this point.
Okay, got it.
He's good, but he's bad, if you know what I'm saying.
He's the emo boyfriend.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't hate
He's
that.
thick, though. He's jacked. Yeah. He's real. He's thick in the trunk. Does that mean torso? I hope so.
You don't
Moving on.
need to expand on that thought. You can leave it.
Okay.
Oh, man.
No, because he was like a Jedi bounty hunter. It's all it's complicated, but I do like Jag as well. But for the sake of the debate, we got the three.
Okay, pause it
three
right there.
different
So when I
perspectives
looked
here.
up Kip Duran, I'm seeing a picture of Christian Bale. Now, if that is in the picture,
Hey.
I feel like we should revisit it.
All right, now I'm gonna find the
No?
one from the
Okay.
I gotta find the image of Kip from what was the new essential guide to characters from. Oh yeah, this is horrible. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we got to get this one on the show. Sending it over to Rick right now. Where you got Christian Bale up in here?
I don't know. I was just looking at because when I looked up Zek, I did not hate it. I could see that. And then when I looked up Kip Duran, I was scrolling down and under fandom. It had a picture of Christian Bale. I tried to pull up Wikipedia, but everybody knows there's too many ads. I can't see anything. So it just was on one of the
Shots fired
things.
on the Wook.
I mean, they need to fix it. But anyway, so there's a picture of Christian Bale, which I feel like is appropriate. I mean, everybody was raised with some Dark Knight. So
That's not what I see when I think of.
well, it is what I
Kip
see when
Duran.
I think of it. What is that?
This is Kip Duran in the new essential guide to characters
Ew, is he
from
blonde?
like 2002, 2003.
Is he blonde?
This is the one that I don't remember.
He looks like a brown blonde with maybe a little red.
Okay. All right. We can move on from this question, but I do want to say I love a nice, complex, romantic, long-term thing. So I love a fake out, like a love interest that like plays its course and then like pivots to somebody else.
Oh,
I love
do
it.
you?
I love that.
Well, then you're going to love Prince Isolder. Prince Isolder is a character who shows back up in Dark Journey. He infamously is like what? The queen's consort of Hapes. He's the son of Hapen royalty, but men are powerless and lame on Hapes. So he's just arm candy.
there's some really interesting fan castings out there.
No, Rick, turn back, Rick.
Oh, really? Let me see. What's myself?
I mean, you got my attention when he said Emma Watson as Jaina Solo, so...
Okay.
Oh, no.
What in the world?
Oh.
No, thank you. No, thank you to all of this. I'm picturing like a George Clooney situation. But maybe not.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
But Prince Isolder definitely is a character that has a complicated love triangle thing going on. He infamously was Leia's potential fiance in the courtship of Princess Leia, was being, matched with Leia. Then there's Dathomir and the Night Sisters and the Rancors. And then Han kidnaps Leia, and they all live happily ever after until Prince Isolder shows back up. Now, he's the father of a key character in the series, in the EU. Love everybody's favorite character. Many people love her, Tenel Ka. He's Tenel Ka's dad. But there's been some drama. Now, here's where I've got a problem with what's happened here. There was the battle, was it at Fondor a few books ago, where the Hapens came in with their battle dragons. Centerpoint Station erupted. Thrak and Jaina Solo got involved. And then Tenelka's mother, the Queen of Hapes, Queen Mother, Tenennial Jo, was pregnant.
Ooh.
Lost her baby in the battle. Was injured, lost the baby. Is now kind of having a Padme situation, lost the will to live. Very heartbroken over this. Is now checked out of being a queen, is not inserting herself in the war, and her mother-in-law is ready to end her and move. She's trying to get Isolder to divorce her. It's problematic. I don't like it.
Okay.
Not one bit.
So, yeah, I had some questions about all that. So, does Isolder... I don't know if we're getting into spoilers.
He seems to be just kind of dragged along in all this.
Tenel. I can't say it. I say it. Help me out. Tenel. There we go.
You got it. Way to go.
Have we gotten to her future with the Hapens? Or is that
this is... At the end of the book, finally, she steps up to the plate and she says, I'll do it. Okay. So she is not necessarily leaving the Jedi, but at this point, she's all in on the Jedi. But now at the end, she does go to become the Queen Mother of Hapes.
What does that mean for her family dynamics? Does her dad divorce her mom and then marry her? Or is it just like a title that he gives her?
He would be King Regent, right? Emeritus? What's the...
I don't know.
He's not a king, because you have to have a queen. You have to have a queen of Hapes.
Right.
Dowager? Is that a thing?
Sure.
It's usually in terms of a female, though, in reference to a female.
But
male dowager. What's the term for that?
I think regent would probably be the closest. I could be wrong.
Duke?
I don't know.
Duke of Hapes?
So
or would he just be like the queen father? We don't have enough matriarchal society.
Yeah, let us know. What happens to Isolder? He's definitely put on the back burner after this. This is his last stand, and it's not awesome.
Yeah.
It's decidedly
he doesn't
underwhelming.
push it with Jaina. Give him credit for that, for not like...
He's not creepy with her.
Yes, I appreciate that.
But he is kind of lame in the sense of being like, well, I guess we could get married.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah.
It's like, well, if you're up for it, I am, but I ain't.
Exactly. But this is where it takes a turn. So his mother, who is the Dowager Queen, the former Queen Mother, Ta Chum, who, let's be honest, what's more dangerous to the galaxy, guys? The Yuuzhan Vong or mother-in-law interference?
Oof. Yikes.
They're
I would rather face the Vong any day.
The timing is not ideal.
No. Or is it perfect? If you're the mother-in-law, this is exactly the kind of distraction you're looking for.
That is true.
So she gets involved. She befriends Jaina. She likes Jaina because Jaina is a straight shooter. Jaina will be super to the point, very frank with her. She's used to people buttering her up and playing this political game and going to parties and putting on the ball gowns. But Jaina is she's to the point. She actually listens to her. I think because obviously her mother's Princess Leia, she's kind of used to these powerful women not fazed by her. And so the Queen Mother, she's won over. She's like, all right, let's do it. Let's get Isolder to divorce the mourning queen. And then it won't. So she kills her. Poisons the queen. It's a big yikes, guys. It's a big yikes.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, Emily, Ta Chum, is she the real villain of the book over the Yuuzhan Vong? Or did you kind of like her? She's kind of got wicked stepmother vibes, right?
She does. It's a good question. I mean, the beauty of the character is you don't like her, but you can understand her, right? She's a really good villain because she has reasonable motive. The means are there. The situation has landed on her lap. Like, it makes sense for her character that if things aren't moving the way she wants, she's using circumstances to her advantage. I think having read a good bit of the romance genre, it is pretty refreshing to get a different take on that, right? Because usually romance is like the heroine, usually really likes the dresses and like has to learn how to play into this whole thing. And so having Jaina be more kind of a straight shooter is pretty nice. And it's reasonable for her character as well. So I don't know. I think that I would say in terms of stability, she probably is equally disruptive to the Yuzhan Fong. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I do like watching her kind of fall for Jaina because we, as the reader, like Jaina, and we like, she's a lovable character, especially since Anakin's now off the table. Jason, at least for the moment, is off the table. So we've got Jaina. She's our Solo. We're following, and we want her to succeed. And so it's like good to see somebody else like her, but then it takes a turn. It goes a little too far. Rick. We've talked a bit about real life navigating family drama. How would you like some of this family drama, buddy?
We're not initiating therapy time with Rick on this episode, so I am just going to move along and say, mother-in-laws, they can be an issue. So Yuzhan Vong, better look out.
If only we could harness all of those all the machinations and just channel it in a different way.
That's right. That would be
different
powerful.
direction. But is her motive? I mean, how much of it is to get somebody on the throne that she can manipulate versus does she really want to see a strong ruler lead the Haipens to defeat the Yuzhan Vong?
That's true.
I
She's
think
very
she
selfish.
definitely
And I was
looks out for
unclear on that.
people,
Really?
I think so. But it's very driven and self-preservation at the same time. Like she wants the power, and she wants to survive, and so she's willing to do whatever it takes. But she sees that. I don't know. I guess I see that. I see some. I don't like her. I don't like.
She's kind of a Borsk-Phalia character, isn't she?
Oof.
We just got rid of him.
I know.
1 book ago. We've gone this many days without a Borsk-Phalia incident.
Sheesh.
Yeah, but this time it's in the Hapes cluster. Well, I asked the question: Who's the real villain of the book? Is it the Yuzhan Vong or the mother-in-law? Is it Ta Chum? But I think we got kind of a similar situation with the heroes. Jaina Solo aside, who's the real hero of the book in your opinion? Is it Tenel Ka, or I'd like to throw one in the ring for Lo Baka. This is a great Lo Baka book. Loie comes out great in this book, doesn't he? He's like, hey, you're going through grief. I'll be right by your side. There's nothing you can say or do to me, no matter how offensive or abrupt or angry you get or just how messy your love life gets. You know what? I'm here for you. The ultimate wingman. I'll fix your ship. You want to go hang out with that old prince? Fine, I'll fix the ship.
Yeah. It sounded more
I love
like
Loie.
but yeah, it was.
Hey, man, I could be misinterpreting,
That's right.
Best supporting character for sure goes to Lobaka, but as far as heroes, this is definitely a Tenel Ka origin story to me.
It's a huge turning point for the character. She is, without a doubt, a top 10, maybe top 5 Legends character for me. Just, spectacular character from Young Jedi Knights, New Jedi Order, and beyond. I won't say too much about that. But huge character. And what's crazy is she's often paired with Jason. She's often, in the Young Jedi Knights, at least up to this point, she and Jason were real close. Kind of had a little romance going on. This time Jason's absent. So it's interesting to get her, paired, kind of squaring off against Jaina with Jason out of the picture. What's that trope, like the rule, the Bechdel test? You guys know about the Bechdel test?
No, what's that?
If two female characters, have a conversation in a book or a movie, TV show, but among themselves, not about the male characters in the story. So the Bechdel test, it's just like the low bar of, do the female characters have their own agency and independence, separate and apart from boy drama?
Interesting.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of properties that don't pass the Bechdel test.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's surprising. It's one of those things where once you see it, you'll never unsee it.
I was going to say. I might be looking for that in the future.
So I do like in here that she's stepping into being queen without a male character forcing her into it. Jaina's definitely caught up in all that, but Tenel Ka, it's just kind of like a decision. Do I choose the Jedi or do I choose my people? And it's heartbreaking to have to see her make that choice. There's a slip up in this book though with Tenel Ka. You guys know about this?
No.
Quick question: how many arms does Tenel Ka have?
Oh yeah, she lost an arm, right?
What?
Tenel Ka lost an arm in the. Actually, you can kind of make a trilogy out of it. The Hapen trilogy, we'll call it. The Hapes cluster, if you will. It's well, the first one would be Courtship of Princess Leia. Secondly, then, this is where she loses her arm in a practice duel with Jaina Solo, in the Young Jedi Knights Book 4, Lightsabers. My favorite EU cover of all time, Lightsabers. Love it. Great book, too. Loses an arm, has a Rancor tooth lightsaber, gets cocky in the way she fashions it, and it fails. In battle, loses an arm. Anyway, there's a page in here, there's a chapter. I remember reading it and being like, what is this? Where it says she firmly grasped her lightsaber between her two hands. And I was like, maybe a foot and a hand.
Maybe.
But
The Force is her ally.
I don't think she has a prosthetic.
Yeah.
It would be very Star Wars if she did.
That's true.
It would.
But I think, at least in lightsabers, it was a choice that she did not
Right.
want a prosthetic. Like, it was a pride.
I pretty sure remember, because I didn't know that about when it happened. And I remember reading somewhere else in the NJO that it was, she only had one arm.
Interesting.
So,
Did
yeah.
not know that.
Well, regardless of how many arms she has, and to all of our one-armed listeners, hey, we love you, and you can wield the lightsaber with the best of them. However, it's like one of the defining things about her character. Has one arm, is like a Xena warrior princess, but Star Wars, and also the thing that she has one arm, and the Rancor tooth lightsaber, and the author just totally missed that. But
Nice.
well, a couple of overarching questions before we wrap it up tonight, guys. This on the heavy side of things, Dark Journey. Rick, you said this book really wasn't dark enough. But as somebody who has had to deal with grief, and it's not simple, it's not straightforward, it's not pretty, it's sometimes really haphazard, hit or miss. It's a jagged path. See what I did there, jagged?
Hey.
This book, I think, does at least kind of begin to scratch that surface, though not perfectly. What does this show us, guys, do you think, about the nature of the dark side and its connection to its relationship with grief and loss? The dark side and grief and loss. Obviously, for Anakin Skywalker, grief directly puts him in the dark side. I mean, it's just a straight line. But for Jaina, it's a different path, right? She flirts with the dark side, doesn't fully commit. What do you think, Emily?
I mean, that's a good question. I feel like we've seen a lot of the dark journeys that we've seen so far. Like Vader started with the Tusken. You know, he just demolished a Tusken village, and then it was a slippery slope from there, and ended up, killing children in the Jedi Temple. Like he fell far. And then you've got other characters that really just, I think it starts with a desire for revenge, and then it leads to like an obsession with a certain people group. In this case, the Yuuzhan Vong, because that was the source of her grief and loss. And I think that for her, she did cross lines. Because I think that especially, and I don't know why, but I feel like for female characters in particular, it's easier for them to pull themselves back a bit, I think, just because of the way...
More self-restraint.
Yeah, I think because we're kind of forced, and by we, I mean like generally women are forced to look at things from a different perspective, being life givers and caretakers. We have a slightly different perspective to life than a lot of the male characters do, and I'm wondering if that restraint led to a slightly less steep of a slope for her. So she did slide, but she was able to catch herself and bring her back and remember the big picture in time.
You don't think it was like all the stupidity on Hapes that got her out of the slide?
That's a good
She's
point,
like, people are
actually.
ridiculous. This is stupid. I got to get out of here.
You know what? That's actually an excellent point. I don't
actually have
disagree with you.
I've got a more credible theory on what saves her, and I think it's her support systems, her support structures, her friendships. Lobaka is a great example of one who, this has been a friend who's been there for me for a long time. He's not going to tolerate me sliding to the dark side.
Well, her parents, man, they give her space while also being supportive. It's a beautiful thing.
That's true.
Especially after Han had so mismanaged Anakin's, Chewbacca's death.
Yeah.
Earlier in the series, and here it's like they've learned a lesson. It's been 2 years, close to 2 years, and they're like, well, we need to do this differently. I did appreciate that. There's some growth. Yeah. Everything surrounding Anakin's funeral in this book was chef's kiss. I mean, it was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful, touching. Shed a little tear. I was also slicing onions when I read that. We listened to that section.
You know, it's okay.
But there was a lone tear.
During
Rick,
the Parent Trap. It's okay to just say you cried.
Yeah.
No, but like it is an indisputable fact that I was listening to the scene of Anakin's funeral while making tacos. So.
Well,
there were onions involved.
All right. Blame the onions.
Were harmed in the making of this podcast. Rick, what's the connection here for you, in your opinion, as somebody who does have to counsel people through grief? How do you navigate dark side and grief?
Man, it's there. There's always a temptation. I think that's what grief does, is it opens the door to consider going to places you haven't been before. And so it's a temptation. And I think that people always have choices. And so you see that. I mean, you could even look at, Bane, Darth Bane, and even Kip. Like, both of them, if I remember correctly, had kind of similar, like, home planet or home life. Well, maybe not home planet, because Kip had a different planet, but they had a rough upbringing, and that kind of formative experience can open the door.
Kip was raised by spiders.
Yeah, okay, that's weird. And so, I don't know. I think it's the temptation becomes available, but people have a choice. And so, I think Jaina navigated it well. Once I got past my disappointment of not seeing her go super dark.
I do think the point about there being a choice is good. It's like not that in Star Wars something bad happens to you, something traumatic, therefore you turn to the dark side.
Right.
But that something traumatic happens, and then you have a choice for how you're going to handle it. And the dark side is a choice, an option that's open to you.
Yep.
But it is not the only option. And you can start to take a step. You can dabble with a little bit of Force lightning and Legends and still pull it back. Just on the weekends. One other thing that I think really adds an interesting wrinkle to the overarching New Vong Jong. Dang it! What is this series called? Yu Dong. What?
New Jedi Order.
New Jedi Order. There it is. That is really going to begin to open up as the series continues. Is that how do you fight these folks if you can't use the Force to fuel them?
It's a good question.
And they're conquering the galaxy. Everything the Jedi, the Republic have tried so far, I mean, it's just been one failure after another. But here there's a turning point. How effective, then, are the strategies that start to develop here in Dark Journey? Scuba Joe says, did I hear New John Dong? That may have been what I said. May have been, not what I meant.
Oh my gosh.
New Jedi Order. But we're fighting them differently now. We're not just trying to smash them with lightsabers. Okay, so how effective then are the strategies of two things happen in this book? One, understanding and redeploying Yuuzhan Vong tech. And two, weaponizing their mythology against them. Which of these did you think was a better tactic? And what did you think about these developments? This is huge.
I loved the mythology re-weaponization. So that, having studied anthropology, I feel like getting a solid cultural grasp of your enemy is so stinking important. I mean, who is it? Thrawn. Exhibit A. I mean, he was a brilliant tactician because he fully understood his enemy. And I feel like Jaina is like baby Thrawn. She's this little Jedi Thrawn combination, which is just, I think it's brilliant because they're so like, that is the entire driving force. Like, they're not driven by a need to like achieve a certain objective. They're driven by like this internal like ethos, like this is who we are, this is what we do. So like to redirect that, I think is going to be the turning point. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it is a huge development to weaponize their mythology. Rick, you notoriously dabble in mythology. What did you think? And also technology.
I thought both are really interesting. As far as the technology, it was just a matter of time before you replicate their organic technology, because they have technology too. They just don't know that's what it is. And so that was interesting and brilliant. And hats off to the scientists who work so hard and don't get the recognition for what they do, because it was a big deal. But as far as the mythology, one of the things that I'll add to the conversation, I felt like this was goofy in the best way. Like
the trickster stuff?
Yeah, the trickster and calling her, a deity and giving her all these honorifics. Like that felt like classic Star Wars. Like we're going to hide in an asteroid while the bad guy goes past us.
It's kind of
like
tapping
goofiness.
into that Han Solo in Jaina, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Something he would do, which is like just mess with the Yuuzhan Vong. Everything's fine here. It's all fine. Situation normal. How are you? Kind of a thing. Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna stay
love
with
that.
the god's wishes. Oh yeah, well I'm your god. What?
So we've got she taps into the lore of the Yunharla, the trickster goddess, but then also, man, you could ask me about physics classes I had in high school, college. None of it. Don't remember. But I could break down the entire Yuuzhan Vong mythology caste system, their pantheon of gods. I've got it all. It's in my head. But then also the other thing that's an interesting wrinkle here is the mythology of the twins. The twins. And according to the myth, the twins have to face one another in a decisive final battle that will turn the galaxy on its head or something like that.
Oh, wow.
You guys think there's anything to that?
I mean, obviously.
Of course. Of course.
They wouldn't put it in the book if it wasn't important.
Yeah, that's a build-up for sure.
Oh, what? They wouldn't put it in the book if it wasn't important? The entire Hapen love triangle would like a word.
No, it's important. It tells you about Jaina's character, that she's not going to be swayed. She's not convinced by power. That's not the way to get to her. She doesn't want out of the fight. It tells you a lot about the character. It solidifies her motives and who she is. And it also, everybody loves something ridiculous. It's fun to read about.
It's a little bit for me, to be honest.
Yep. Hey, but look out, New John Dong, we're on to you.
Boy, are we ever. And we will get back onto you in a normal way in just a few weeks for our next episode. But first, the next episode of Legends Look Back we're going to do something special in a couple of different ways. One is we've got a community vote that we're going to do in Discord, so keep your eyes peeled in the Legends Look Back channel. The Legends Look Back channel is back in Discord, y'all. Got a whole Discord Legends corner for all the cool kids, not the losers, and it's going to be great. You're going to love it, and so check that out. We're going to do a community vote on the next episode, and that episode is also going to be a celebratory live stream episode before we transition to doing some more audio-only episodes for a while. Not anything against the live streams. This has been fun. It's time for a change of pace, a bit of a shake-up. So we're experimenting with the best way to see the show grow and prosper. And all. I said prosper, Rick. It's a Star Trek thing, yeah. Said on accident, regretted it instantly. And so we're going to do a celebratory live stream. Join us for that. One's going to be special. Tuesday, October 22nd, 8:30 p.m. Central for that one. And, guys, we're going to make a big announcement on that episode.
Right.
How excited are you for our big announcement?
I can't wait to tell them about our Star Trek show.
It's not a Star Trek show. Please don't turn off your podcast feeds. Join us for that special announcement about a super special kind of secret project that we've been very loose-lipped about that is launching. Going to tell you about it very soon. So that will do it for this episode of Legends Look Back. If you're looking for other podcasts to expand your fandom, be sure to check out the rest of our lineup in the Utini podcast network, including the Cosmic Force. Shout out and congratulations to our buddy Caleb and his family for the birth of their little one. Also, the Star Wars Archives, the Utini Show, the Utini Canon Book Club, and the aforementioned Caleb's, what is it, an MMO? What do you call those where you play a role-playing game show called Dice Wars? That one's a lot of fun as well. Thank you, a special thank you to our supporters, Brian Dooley, Carl Sander, Michael Fry, James T., Ashley Ingalls, and Colton Fife for your amazing support.
Yep, and catch us live one more time Tuesday night at 8:30 Central on October the 22nd. That's going to be at youtube.com/@UtiniVaults. Be sure to ring that bell if you want to get notified whenever we go live. Remember to sub to the channel and leave us a review in your podcast platform of choice. If you want your thoughts read on the show, email us at legendslookback@utini.com, and we're also on Twitter/X, whatever it is, at legendslookback.
Let's keep the party going and hop over on Discord, where we are continuing the conversation with other Utinians about this week's episode in the Legends Look Back channel.
All right, that's it for us. Keep exploring, keep sharing, and let's keep on expanding the universe. Together, may the Force be with you.
This is a Utini broadcast.